Welcome back, students. So, welcome to one more session of personality development class. In our last class, we were discussing about one of the theories of personality, that is psychoanalytical theory, which was proposed by Sigmund Freud, one of the pioneer psychologists and famous psychologist. So, to do a brief recap, Sigmund Freud said that our mind is like an iceberg which is divided into three parts, that is unconscious, pre-conscious and conscious mind. So to elaborate, he said that we have three things here: id, ego and superego. Id is based on pleasure seeking principle. So it wants all the pleasure of the world and zero pain. On the other hand, superego is more of the ethical part of a brain. So if you consider id as the devil inside us, superego is the angel inside us. So it always talk about right, good, best, and so on. Then there is one more third part, which is called as the ego, which tries to balance both the demon and the angel. Okay, so we'll move to the next part of the theory. Sigmund Freud believed that a person born or a human being right from his birth to its death passes through 6 psychosexual stages. If say for example a person's basic need of that particular stage is not met, he or she gets stuck in that stage and he will face difficulty to move on or grow up. So we'll see what are the different stages. So Freud's psychosexual stages are: first one we call as the oral stage, which is an infant right from the birth to up to 2 years. Here the basic thing what an infant does, we all know that, is feeding, sleeping. So the basic needs. So it's like an empty, say, slate and nothing is there. The only thing which it does it is oral things, that is feeding, thumb sucking, babbling, sleeping and so on. Then the next stage is 2 to 3 years. Here the child starts learning some basic things like going to toilet, talking to their parents, saying their names. Okay, so he or she tries to learn something which the society demands, how to behave and all that. Next is the phallic stage. Phallic stage is toddlerhood, that is 3 to 7 years, your kindergarten and so on. Here this child learns to realize the difference between males and females and becomes aware of sexuality. So this is a boy, this is a girl and all those things. Next is 7 to 11 years, we call as latency. Here he learns many things, grows up, goes to school, makes friends, tries to know the world. Then next is genital world to adult, that is 11 and above. So we call them as teenagers. They become matured, get attracted to the opposite sex, try to know many things. So we'll talk about in detail about the different stages. So oral stage, I told you it is from 0 to 2 years or 1.5 years. So here the center here the ego, superego is not built. The basic thing, a child is born with id, that is, I want all the pleasure of the world. I'm hungry, I'll cry, I'll get it. I'm feeling sleepy, I'll cry. So here the basic part of the brain which is enlightened or which is stark is id, that is pleasure seeking brain. Okay, If the child is overstimulated in this stage, when you say as an adult, he may become dependent on cigarettes, alcohol, becomes chatterbox, or derives pleasure from acquiring possessions. If the child is understimulated, then he or she will be biting sarcastic remarks on others. So what do you mean by this over-fixated or under-fixated? If, say, for example, when you are young, your parents give attention to everything. Before the child cries, you get everything. Okay. So what happens is his pleasure-seeking is totally concentrated. So before he cries, the parents are so scared that that person will cry. They will give them all the things he wants. So this type of a behavior is called as over-fixation. So when you are such a thing, that child will become weak. He will not learn patience. He will not learn sharing, because as he says it, he gets the things, because the parents are scared that he will cry. Okay. So you are overstimulating him. So he'll be a very stubborn, arrogant person, always talking. Or if you say no to that person, he will go end up into depression, cigarettes, alcohol. So all those things. Okay. Then when we say understimulated, means you are totally neglecting that child. When it's too much hungry, also you are not looking at it. So we call it as understimulated. So this child also, he will not trust anybody. He will be a bit aloof from the world, always talking negative things, always taunting somebody, because as a child he has not got the small pleasures. Forget overstimulation. Not only the minimum weightage or minimum care what you have to give him, he has not got. So that is called as understimulation. Then next stage, anal stage, that is from 2 years to 3 years. Okay. So here the main thing here he learns is, he thinks, the child tries to learn his bowel movements, means how to behave in society, say toilet rules and all that. So if the parents are too much, emphasizing about these things, say going to toilet and all those things, so you shouldn't, say for example, you are becoming too much disciplined, then the child will be scared and he will develop a retentive character. He will become, very much aware that if I do something, my parents will scold. Okay, so he was too much disciplined. On the other hand, if you don't teach him these normal things about toilet manners and other things, then he will become a very reckless character, bad temper, cruel, messy, disordered, unclean person. So that is under fixation. So you are giving them too much discipline about training. That is also not good. You are neglecting it. That is also not good. So it should be in a right way. You have to train them, but don't bombard them about too much strictness. Okay. Give them some leniency. And the third stage, phallic stage, that is toddlerhood. So here, this is a stage when they try to know boy, girl, and all those things. So so many of times we feel that in this stage, these children are very much possessive about something. If there is a girl, they will be very possessive about their dad. If he's a boy, he will be very possessive about his mother. Okay. So even if the father talking with the mother, he will not like. So if you're giving them too much, you can say, so the fixation basically here, this is for a few years, say for 2 or 3 years, but this normally happens that boys are attached to their mothers and girls. So we call them as Oedipus complex in male and Electra complex in females. So why this happens is because the child tries to learn the difference between gender. So if a child is stuck onto this stage, means after 6 years, if he's not moving on with this, he will stuck in that stage and he'll become very reckless and proud. So he will lose his sexual identity. So if you say a mother or father is not caring that much, he will be scared of relationship, weak in sexual identity, and this may cause to homosexuality. Means you are scared of the opposite gender. Why? Because at the age of 3 to 6, you didn't come to know the other gender properly. Maybe your parents didn't give you that much of care and did not train you that much. So this Fred stated that this may be a root cause. So it's not sure, but as the patients he has talked with, he saw that this may be a cause of homosexuality. Why? Because you are scared or not comfortable with the other gender. Then next is latency stage. So latency is 6 to 11 years, say from first to fifth standard. Here nothing great fixation happens because the child is busy at school, playing, learning, drawing, reading, then maybe exercise and so on. So he's trying, he's busy with the school, busy with playing with friends, with neighbors, and so he's not stuck up to anything as such because his mind is very curious at this stage. He's trying to learn what others are doing, what his elder brother or father or mother is doing. So he's trying to focus on peer activities. Peer activities means, say, at that age you are fascinated to say one particular celebrity hero or a sports person, you want to become like him or her, so you're busy in learning such curious activities and physical activities. Then genital stage, that is puberty and above. So we can talk about teenagers, that is 12 to 19 years. So here the child tries to improve his personal identities, develop caring feeling, tries, gets interested in other gender, thinks about a career, what he wants to learn, what graduation or post graduation wants to do, or what job or business he wants to do. So you, okay, so this is a phase when you are trying to mold yourself as an successful adult. Before that you were a child just playing around, fooling around. Okay, so if you are fixated in this thing, means, say example, you didn't get, maybe your classmates, your relatives are continuously making fun of you or fooling you off, you may become very much say scared of relationship. You may be very uh, you can say, because people don't show confidence in you, there may be some amount of frigidity or say low skill power or low confidence. You don't know to trust the people or the other, there is unsatisfactory relationship. Why? Because you are stuck on to something, or maybe you are giving too much weightage to your career, to your business. Maybe that's the reason you don't have an good strong relationship. Okay, so this is all about the different stages of psychoanalytical theory. The next part of it, that is a defense mechanism used by people to overcome the, you can say, fear of the different stages, we learn in our next class. So that's all for today. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye. So before I end, please see that you share, comment, and subscribe my channel so that you get further notifications. Thank you.